Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt, fix several years of financial misbehaviour, and draw to an end a 6-week payday period, which was painful, but we are very, very nearly there. I am back with you on Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve, happy Christmas Day to some people in the world. Depending on which time zone you're in. And I thought this might be a pre-recorded video, but actually it turns out I'm really organised when I don't sleep because I just have more time. And, what do I need to sleep for? But it actually means I get time to actually do a little budgeting thing and can hold back my pre-recorded videos a little bit more, which is lovely because I didn't think I'd get this one out. And it is my proposed budget for January 2025, and that is because I am getting paid on Monday, which is less than a week away, and I was starting to get ideas and thoughts, and I just thought, right, I'm going to take some time, sit down with a coffee. I've done all the veg prep and everything I need to do to help mum out from my end, given that she is hosting Christmas, and I've got a little bit more like wrapping and prettifying the presents, as I call it, and my cards to write. But apart from that, I've got plenty of spare time. So I thought I'd bring you a video. And it is month one in my new budgeting planner. And she's beautiful and she's creamy and there's lots of like really soft colours and lots of florals. And it is beautiful. It's January, which is a 5-week month for me. You can literally see it runs from the 30th to the 30th. And yeah, it's a 5-week month essentially. 4 full weeks and then 4 days when I'm actually teaching. So it's not even a weekend when I get to stay in. And there's a few things that are going on. I obviously have a lot more information about the first week where things are confirmed than I do about others. So I get paid on the Monday. Bowie's got a vet's appointment on the Friday. I might be doing some things in here. I'm not sure yet. So I've tried to allow for that in my budgeting. We think we're doing Oxford on the Saturday, but there is a question mark, so I'm just waiting on the confirmation for that. Then I'm back in school, then I'm still in school, and then I get a YouTube payout somewhere around here. I've put the 21st, so it is at the start of the week, but it might be a bit here instead. And then obviously paid on Thursday the 30th. In terms of backfilling this in, I will go through and I will backfill as best I can within the space that I've given myself, what's come out when, so that the dates actually line up and do a bit of contrast. But we'll do that obviously once it's happened. Now, I'm going to take you through the weekly budget setups that I've got for the full 5 weeks, so we won't linger too long on that because obviously this video will then run to a silly amount of time, and it is Christmas Eve and I want you to all go and enjoy your Christmas, or however you like to spend this holiday season if you don't celebrate Christmas, not watching my videos. So each week I'm going to have a focus. I've got a generalised focus as well, but it will be more specific based on my review of the week before and obviously having more concrete information about how things are going. So my focus for week 1 is to cash stuff for week 1 to 3. Get Oxford done. Hopefully come in under budget on that, but get Oxford done. Get my batch cooking and subsequent food shopping for that in, because this is my chance to get done and organised for January ahead of school. Get the physical products relaunched at some point within this week, and activate some Vinted listings. So I intend to obviously photograph a large batch ready to go, because the photography is what takes the time, and then have those lined up ready to activate either daily or weekly. In terms of my confirmed income, now this isn't going to include, you will see throughout these weeks that I've not included anything that I made from coffee, anything that I've made from Vinted, anything I make from Facebook Marketplace. And that is because at the minute, those are unknowns, and their primary job, with the exception of 1 week only, is to feed into my savings plan. So where possible, I have tried to incorporate my budget into my standard monthly income. And what I will say is that my standard monthly income is going to struggle to stretch to cover a 5-week period the moment I add in a vet's appointment or even something out of the norm like an outing. And we're going to see how that transpires. Now, where possible, most, if not all, bar one of my bills, I've managed to rearrange and move to the first week of January. And that'll be the case going forward as well. So it means there's a large influx that goes out first. In fact, the majority of my money will leave my account in that first week whenever I get paid. And I've allowed for this in here. So we'll take you through. So my standard income is £1,987.36. And I've obviously got a couple of extra sections to add in. That's what's budgeted. And what I will then do is, I know that's going to be the actual, so I'll fill in the actual there. But what I would do instead, if I had any money from coffee come in, I would write coffee, I'd write 0 because it's not budgeted, and then I'd write the actual amount there. And the actual amount will form my actual numbers, and the budgeted amount is the budgeted numbers. My rent is £9.50, so that, again, huge one straight out the bat. In fact, it's most of my wages gone on a single transaction. I've then also inputted December's Wi-Fi and December's mobile. Now, at the time of filming, which is midday on December the 24th, I haven't yet received my YouTube payment, and I think that is because the Christmas period has impacted on when that's going to be paid. So it may be that I carry a rollover forward from that YouTube payment, which is going to go to pay towards these into this month, and then that covers it. Or actually, it may get paid in, tomorrow or the day after or on the Friday, and then I pay that normally. But I've inputted it in here just to allow for it, just in case, because at the time of writing it's not been taken. Obviously, if that is paid prior to this budget starting, even if it's some of it or not at all or all of it, then that is obviously £67.82, which can come back into my budget. But my December Wi-Fi is 52, my December mobile is 15.82, my car tax is 16.66, my water is 50, and my energy is 50. So what I've done is I've kept my water payments at £50 a month, and I've lowered my energy payments slightly. And that is just to kind of keep on top of everything at the minute. But I will, within that water, I am actually paying off a little bit off my overall arrears there, but not so much as I was planning to do before, because like I said, this is a savings focus that I've got. Spotify I'm bringing back $11.99, and YouTube Premium I'm bringing back at $12.99. That they went away for this period that I've been in, but the intention was, as soon as my wages were in, to bring them back. My Microsoft payment is $5.99. My cloud payment for the month is $2.49. That's my storage. And then I have my January Wi-Fi is £32, and my January mobile is $15.82 as well. So at the minute, my bills are £1,215.76, and they tend to fall between £1,200 and £1,300 depending on what's going on in the month anyway. So that's bang on the money, giving me a rollover of £771.60. Unusually, I've actually got the savings section down here, and then I jump up to flexible expenses, and that's because anything extra that comes in is kind of like going to feed in here, zoom all the way down, and then bypass down to here. I've not inputted which savings challenges I'm using or which savings focuses I'm looking at, because I have yet to go through and decide I'm going to use, for example, this to track this, and like this to track something else. So once I have the names of the challenges and what I put towards them, that's when that will feed in there. So this will all update there. So I've still got at the minute a £771.60 rollover from my main wages, and that's the key thing to remember, is my main wages need to cover my standard month, and any extra, unless it's exceptional like a 5-week month, any extra does need to form into my savings there. So there's essentially 2 lines that are running. Bowie's got his vet's visit. It's that blood test, that goddamn blood test again. £100, and £100, and then an argument about why we won't be repeating that, but I'm going to try and stubbornly stick to it. Food, I've put 70, so I am budgeting a bit more for the first week of January, and that's because I'm going to try and get a lot of the staples, like my breakfast, my snacky sandwichy bits, my non-fresh stuff that I take to school on a regular basis, and stock that up in this period here, and then try and keep it so that the only things I'm buying throughout the month from a food perspective in terms of regular trips are those fresh or freezer top-ups, and therefore all of my cupboard staples are sorted. This doesn't include any prep kitchen cupboard long-term storage things, but as a result of me obviously getting 3 weeks worth of breakfast cereal and 3 weeks worth of snacky bits and trying to eat a little bit healthier, and also batch cooking at least a couple of weeks worth of meals, that is a little bit larger than it would be on a normal week, but it is very much reflective of the time. Well, actually I have the time to spend a day batch cooking, and therefore I'm going to try and take advantage as well of the offers on meat and veg at the minute that are out, and try and cook ahead. Fuel is £65, and that is £25 to cover Oxford and then £40 for the week. That will actually be split up into multiple fuel fill-ups. So I'll put a small fuel payment in on the Monday here. I'll then obviously deal with Oxford around here if we do go. Like I said, I am waiting on the confirmation that is happening this week, and then I'll fill up the tank completely before school. So it may actually end up being less than that or not. Cat food is £25, and then his medication is around £185. Normally I put £200 to allow for any increases or anything like that, but I think it's about £185. Household toiletry, I do need to do quite a big stock up, because that's something I've not done at all in November or December, so I've used down my stocks. So as a result, I need to get like deodorant and toothpaste and laundry powder and loo roll and cleaning stuff and scourers and dish soap and all of those things, and they add up when you've got everything to get. So I kind of need to do quite a large one, and it does transpire like every quarter or so, every 3 months I tend to do a larger shop, and then that tends to work on that. So household toiletry is those kinds of things. The Oxford outing I've budgeted £75. That's to cover obviously parking fees, it's to cover any entry to places, it's food and drink, it's if I want to buy postcards, it's, we need to get a taxi, anything like that is all in there. And then personal spending, I've given myself £60. I have slightly touched on this in my video from, I want to say Sunday, and it was one of my videos on Sunday. And it is the fact that as a spender, when you have to put the brakes on, because your natural default is I want to buy all of the things, and I get really excited about this. And at the minute, in this time of really high consumerism where you're actively being marketed and sold to, like I can't move without seeing an advert for something, be it on my phone, be it on YouTube, because at the minute I've got I'm on the free version of YouTube, so all of my ads as a spender, and the algorithm obviously listens to me, it's January sale, January sale, January sale, offer now on, offer now on, offer now on. I walk out and about I leave my house and I walk out and it's on sale, club card prices, nectar prices, Iceland bonus card points, clearance sale now on, XYZ, Boxing Day, all of this stuff. Like, you can't move without being marketed to. And when you are a spender and you have to put yourself on a lockdown, the feeling of spending never goes away. You feel proud of the discipline that you've had to get there, but at the end of it there is potentially the risk of, okay, I know that I'm going to, and it will become a need more than it will become a want. And I can't quite describe the psychology of that. But it becomes an overwhelming need. It's like a constant itch that no matter how much you scratch, it won't heal and it won't solve. So I've given myself a little bit more spending to allow me to take advantage of that, to get that out of the way. I've blended it in with Oxford. So I've weighted a lot of my spending in this first week, and I have actually tried to stick to a relatively low spending amount for the rest of the month as a result. But between Oxford and a bit more spending money in this first week, that's what I hope for. What I've also not done is account for any Christmas money that I may get, and if I do get Christmas money, then that will go into my personal spending, and that will therefore kind of inflate to reflect that, because I know that within my family they don't like giving money. They like vouchers is fine, because they don't want it to go on bills. They want you to get something for you that's a treat for you that you like. So in response to that, I do try and keep that to that. So that would correspond with obviously Christmas money and then subsequent increase in personal spending. It means, however, that my total flexible expenses are £625, giving me a rollover of £146.60 to get through the following week. So week 1 is heavy and it is busy. If I take you to week 2, product launch, I want to try and do kind of 2 product launches a month of both physical and digital items. Activate more Vinted listings, make sure I'm doing daily postage if needed, really kind of driving that involvement, and then I'm back to school on that Monday. My rollover, 146.60, and I don't believe I've got any bills coming out this week at all. And obviously nothing will go on with savings until I work out and pull from coffee or Vinted or whatever it is going on down here. And I will only obviously pull from coffee once I've made sure that I've covered all of my associated costs. So I have got to cover a replacement laminator out of that. And the money has been channeled through coffee to allow me to do that. There is also I'll probably need to get some more laminating sheets and some more paper as well. So anything I take from coffee, and putting some money aside for tax as well. So anything I take from coffee will be after that amount, after those things have been done. In terms of my flexible expenses, it's going to be fairly like low key, because I'm so heavily weighted on this on week one. Fuel, which is going to be a standard amount, around between £30 and £40 a week, depending on what's going on the school calendar. Food is going to be £25, and again, personal spending is going to be £10. So it's going to be a £65 total flexible spend, and I don't know why the camera is shaking, and then a rollover of £81.60. Now, going into week 3, if there is any money in my Vinted balance, I need to pull in around about £50. And I've put that this may come from Vinted. It may spread and come from coffee or somewhere else, or from Vinted, etc. But that's because my car insurance, based on when I renewed it, is now coming out in the middle of the month. So that is £57. And obviously the rollover rate of £81.60. And I will still need to do food, and I will still need to sort out fuel. If nothing else, it doesn't quite go that way. So 131.60 is what I need to have floating around the account around about then. And as a one-off, the odd 5-week month incident, that's fine. And also this may come from obviously me potentially not having to pay December's Wi-Fi or mobile out of that either. So that I've provisionally put it from Vinted, but there we go. That's £57. It's 56 and some change, but I can't bother to work out the actual amount, so we're just going to round up and give myself a little bit of a rollover. And then 74.60 is then left to deal with, and it is fuel of 30, and food I've bumped up to 35 because it would have been a couple of weeks. Let's do another restock. How are we looking? What's going on? It's also a parents' evening, so I will be eating late, so I'll need a couple of quick meals that I can kind of get ready to go. It might be a pizza night, for example, and by pizza night I mean a frozen pizza. Activating more Vinted listings, and again doing another cash stuffing, giving me a rollover of £99.60 going into week 4. Week 4 is when YouTube is due to pay. Now, based on my current information, I've put a provisional income of 150. It might be slightly less depending on their deductions. It may be slightly more depending on obviously how the videos perform between now and then. But to date, I'm anticipating an income of around 150 from YouTube. So that, with the combined rollover, again ignoring anything from Vinted or coffee or elsewhere, of 159.60, and no bills going out this week. Savings will be reconciled after the fact. And then in terms of flexible expenses, food is 25, fuel is 30, £10 on cat food, and then I'm £15 on spending. So just kind of giving myself that little bit for me from there. And so a total of £80 and £79.60 coming in. In terms of my rollover then, again, no bills on that last one. You can see that I've kept back a focus from here, and I didn't really do much of a focus on the other page either. And that is because obviously we'll look and see what's going on with the weeks as they have been, and how things are going. Nothing really happening within my savings, and again reconciled after the fact. And then in terms of using this up, so I want to take the budget down to zero. £25 on fuel, £25 on food, cat food of 10, toiletry and household is 10. That's just in case there's anything that I need to get as we approach the end of that 5-week period. And then personal spending of £9.60, just to zero it all off and out. Now, what I will likely do is I will, within all of these categories, I would probably do cash as much as possible. And therefore any change that I get, you will see me pick up and resume a small change savings challenge, whether that is the very, very long, where are we? Whether I choose to put all of that towards the incredibly long and draining 365-day penny challenge, or I break it down into something smaller, like the 1 to 100 day challenge, or a straight £1 small change, whatever it is, that will definitely be feeding in some format. But I have yet at the point of filming to go ahead and decide what challenges I'm going to work on where, and how it's all going to split and break down. But those will obviously also feed into savings as well. So, four pages of expenditure tracking. Hopefully I don't need to use all 4 pages. That's a slight problem. A page for any crucial notes that I need to keep track of. And then we are lining up ready for month 2, which thankfully is only a 4-week month, and I'm not teaching for 1 week of it. So that's something. Yeah. January is going to be a big one, and again it is that fatigue of leaving a 6-week month where you are fatigued and you're rolling into a 5-week month and you're still fatigued. So I'll be budget fatigued, I think, by the time we're done, but hopefully I'll be able to relaunch the physical products quite quickly, and that will obviously help. And then going through and sorting out and doing what I've been doing with the Vinted products, and getting things on Vinted and just being really aggressive with those is only a good thing at the end of the day. It does need to happen, and yeah, hopefully I can make good progress quickly and start building those off and ticking off those savings, and going from there. And hopefully it is as well only good news at the vets. And like I said, you know, this is flexible, and you know, if we need to cut things, we can cut things, but hopefully we don't have to come to that this time. Thank you so much for watching. The Christmas Day video is a pre-recorded one, so I won't actually be saying to you Happy Christmas in that video because I recorded it back in like October, September. And it is my prepping, what would you do if you were prepping, if you had £10 to do a prep shop? And it is based in Sainsbury's, for the Sainsbury's series. So I, on behalf of me at Not Another Budget and my non-existent family who don't watch this channel and don't know who you are, have a fantastic Christmas holiday season. If you don't celebrate Christmas, then please accept my best wishes over this festive period, and thank you so much for the amazing support you've given me. The weight that is coming off as we approach the end of this 6-week period just is, genuinely wouldn't have been successful without the drive and engagement from everyone. And we'll do a proper celebration, I think, over this weekend as we come to the end of it. So thank you so much. I'm going to love you and leave you so you can go away and enjoy your Christmas Eve, your holiday season, and I will see you, probably officially me, back in real time with you, probably Boxing Day, so the 26th. Have a fantastic Christmas, and my best wishes to you and everyone in your life. I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Bye-bye.